All right, what is going on, everybody? Good morning, and welcome to the PreStream podcast, Daylight Saving Time Edition. Ooh. Oh. Today is Sunday, the 13th of March, 2022. I feel tired as shit. And it's only because of one freaking hour. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, today, Daylight Saving Time in the United States of America. That means our clocks moved forward overnight. That means we lost an hour of sleep. That means my streams are an hour earlier. Right now, my clock says it's 11:10 a.m., but my body is telling me it's about 5:10 a.m. I don't know why. Like, seriously, I was dreading this all week. I was like, dude, I really don't want to have to lose an hour of sleep. I'm getting older. My body gets into a rhythm as I get older. My body likes what it likes. It likes that set schedule, waking up at a certain time, getting moving at a certain time. And having a monkey wrench thrown into those plans, it actually, I feel it a lot more now than I used to. You know, I'm about to be 40 years old. Let me repeat that. I'm about to be 40 years old. 40. 40 years old. Damn. You know? It's bad. I don't like being old. I used to be young. I used to be able to get 2 hours of sleep, jump out of bed spry, immediately do a handstand, flip doing cartwheels through the house, run, you know, I'm in a hurry to get to work. So run through the house, run to the kitchen, grab, you know, a bagel, shove it in my mouth, run through the house, getting things ready, turn on the shower water, you know what I mean? Get clothes out of my dresser, chomp the bagel, jump into the shower, get my face wet, do a handstand, get my balls wet, jump out of the shower, dry off, toss on clothes, and I'd be at work in 5 minutes. Those days are long gone, man. I feel like a slug, you know? And it really sucks that we lose an hour of sleep here in the United States because our government is so stupid. I don't want to go on a political rant, but our government is really stupid. They don't do things that are common sense things to help the people. You know, like during COVID, actually doing something to help with COVID. Or, for example, perfect example here, with daylight savings time, or excuse me, daylight saving time. If you say savings time, you've said the wrong thing. You look like a buffoon. It's daylight saving time. When people say savings, it's because we have such a capitalistic society that people are so used to going like to the store. Oh, savings. There's a sale. Savings. There's no savings. You're getting ripped off. You're an idiot. You fall for marketing. But it's daylight saving time, okay? So anyway, this daylight saving time is completely worthless. Everyone has said it. People in government, scientists, you know, anyone who can weigh in, historians, have all weighed in and said daylight saving time no longer has any value whatsoever in modern society. In fact, if you actually can't historically figure out why something ever existed in the first place, and there's no consensus of agreement on why we still do it, then maybe you shouldn't do it. Like, daylight saving time was originally created so that during World War I, the soldiers would have more time to... It was the people would have more time to do things during the day that somehow it helped the soldiers, right? No, daylight saving time actually went into effect because it would give the farmers extra time during the certain time of the year to tend to their crops before sundown, right? No, daylight saving time is because we're trying to conserve electricity, and so the more daylight you have, the less electricity you use, right? No, actually, daylight saving time is because during World War II, the Allied powers wanted more time to stomp the balls of the corpse of Adolf Hitler. Right? No, I don't know. No one knows. And no one can agree why we even do this fucking thing or why it began. So, if literally you can't figure that shit out, why do it? And everyone agrees it's worthless. There's no practical use for it. But our government in the United States is so ineffective. We can't even turn off things that make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people would be like, okay, there's something running. We don't need it anymore. What is that machine in the corner? I don't know. What does it do? I don't know, but it's eating electricity. Turn it off. Okay, off. Our government can't even do that. They're so ineffective at what they do, they literally can't put two fucking noggins together and say, there's something worthless that we're all doing. Let's stop. This will help society. This is a no-brainer, an easy win. Makes everyone look good, especially during election season. Makes everyone look good if we just do this easy fix to make the American people's lives better. What are you talking about? We got to argue about every possible thing under the sun, including healthcare, the budget, COVID, gun control, reproduction rights, gender, blah, 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 instead of actually fucking doing something for once that can help people. Okay, I'm ranting because I'm cranky. If you can't tell today, I'm very cranky because I lost my hour of sleep. I want my goddamn hour back. Maybe I'm overreacting a little bit. What do you guys think? You think maybe I'm just a little bit overreacting about this? But anyway, last night, I'm dreading it all night. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to get that hour of sleep. Dude, I know I'm not going to get that hour of sleep. This sucks. And I fall asleep. And this morning, my wife had to go to work, which makes it even worse because, you know, she had to go to work in the morning. So she lost an hour of sleep. And I was like so dead tired. I slept through it. Like, usually she gets up, she gets ready for work, and I kind of wake up because Jasper wakes up too. You know, we all wake up together, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to roll back into bed for another hour or two, you know, while my wife gets ready for work, and then I get up around, like, between 9:30 in the morning, usually. Man, I was dead tired. I slept through everything. I didn't even hear my wife leave for work. I was so dead tired. And I woke up, and I'm like, okay, time to get up, and I get out of bed, and I'm like, oh, my neck is, like, stiff and sore. My eyes, I can't open them, like, my eyes crusty. Like, oh, I'm awake now. Oh, yeah, I'm so awake. Oh, my God. I went downstairs. I had my cup of coffee and a cup of water because I felt like, I don't know why, I felt dehydrated. It's like, oh, God. And no, just so you guys know, no, I didn't go on a drinking binge last night or whatever because this is what people will say. Most people say, oh, Phil just had too much fun with his gin last night. It was his gin. His gin. All right? I haven't had gin in years. I'm serious. I haven't had gin in years. Well, every night, I have a full handle of tequila. The worm and all. I just down the whole fucking thing. All right? And that's my normal routine. It wasn't like I did anything different outside of my normal routine of drinking this ginormous handle of tequila. It was normal. So there's no reason why losing only the hour of sleep should have affected me so badly. Anyway. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, daylight saving time sucks ass. What I would like to say is thank you to those of you who are actually here for the pre-stream on time. Because, yes, my streams are now an hour earlier. Excuse me. And actually, they will be an hour earlier moving forward until, like, the fall. Because we don't actually have the fall back bullshit until, what is it, like October, November? I think it was November of this year. So we had November, December, January, February, and then already in March we changed it. So why do we even bother? It was 4 fucking months. What was the point of that shit? Anyway, I'm just glad. Now we'll have the same time every day moving forward for many, 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 many months, and hopefully this will avoid confusion. But undoubtedly, today we're going to see less people on stream. I guarantee it. There's going to be people showing up later like, whoa, oh, what's going on? What's happening? Why is Phil streaming so early? You know, I tried to ingrain it in everyone's head as much as I could this last week, but there's not much you can do. There will be people who don't pay attention. Okay? So, if you live in the United States like me and you're annoyed by daylight saving time just as much as me, cheers, we're all in the same boat. If you don't live in the United States and you're not affected by daylight saving time, screw you, man. You got to sleep. It's bullshit. Actually, we had a super chat here that is pertinent. It's from Thorax, who did a super chat and says, daylight saving time originally... Oh, he said savings. Wrong. It's not daylight savings. It's daylight saving time. You can't have that S at the end. If you do, you are a uncultured swine, they call it, right? So how dare you say that, Thorax? Anyway, daylight saving was originally for the farmers, so they could have more light in the day, so they could work longer, but it's dumb because we have technology now. See, no, you think that, but I swear to God, people don't know. I'm serious. That's what some people say. And others say, no, it's because of electricity consumption. I'm like, no, it's because of the war. No, it's because of this. No one actually knows anymore. Seriously. No one knows. It's like feeding a mogwai after midnight. Doesn't make any sense. Feeding a mogwai after midnight makes it turn into a gremlin. Okay? How the fuck does that work? If you fly the mogwai on a plane from a different time zone into another one, does it change the time you can feed the fucking mogwai? Anyway, I digress. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what we're doing today, and let's talk about the big schedule change that has happened. A ginormous schedule change has happened here. Okay? Well, of course, the daylight saving time, that's actually not what I'm talking about. Today, we're going to be doing more Elden Ring. Ooh, and we're actually in the midst of the Academy. The Academy has been pretty fun, and now there's like optional ways to go, and I'm not sure which way to go or what to do in the Academy, so it's a little confusing. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed Elden Ring so far. I mean, we're only like 35 hours into it, and people are telling me I'm only a third into it. I'm like, what? A third? So it's going to be a 100-hour playthrough. Apparently so. It's that crazy of a game. And yesterday, not only did we do crazy stuff, absolutely crazy stuff, right? We did not only the Academy, but we teleported to Volcano Manor. We fought an optional invader boss that I didn't know who the fuck it was, and all of a sudden I got insta-killed. Pretty crazy stuff. And I'm excited for more. I want to beat the Academy today, and people are saying I'm near the end of it, so I'm probably going to. And then we can do more exploration in the lake, because we didn't explore kind of like the northeastern lake. And then maybe we could go to that manor. It's not Volcano Manor, but there's another manor in like the northwestern portion of Liurnia that I was told not to go to by the giant blacksmith, but maybe it's time to go over there and check it out now. So we'll see. We'll see where the day takes us, but that's the cool thing about Elden Ring. You never know where you're going to go, where it's going to take you. And on top of that, now I got all new stuff going on. I got an ice sword, a rapier that's super fast. I've got a giant magma great sword that's doing insane damage, has a crazy good weapon ability. It's not just me using the golden halberd anymore, even though I have it. And the golden halberd is still my best weapon, but I kind of held off on using it because people were complaining I was using it too long. So I said, all right, I'll do some different shit, and now we are. Okay? So good stuff today in Elden Ring. I'm very excited. I know you guys are too. You guys have been pumped for it. You come out every day for it. You support it. I really appreciate that. Tonight, the late stream. Originally, it was going to be Skyrim on the main stream today, but we've been having so much fun and such great progress in Elden Ring that I decided to keep Elden Ring as the main stream. So tonight will be Skyrim Anniversary Edition at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Not standard time. Daylight time. An hour earlier than usual. Okay? 2 hours of chill fun later tonight. Should be a good time. Last time around, we had major progress with the Thieves Guild plotline. I don't know if we'll do that again tonight or we'll do something different. We could do something different if we want. We'll figure it out. But that stream will be way more interactive than the Elden Ring stream. Elden Ring, always I'm focused on the game. You know, you gotta pay attention when you play that shit. You know, you sneeze, you fucking scratch your ass, you turn around, both of your arms been ripped off and shoved up your nostrils. You're like, jeez, that was kind of harsh. But that's the game. So you gotta be hyper-focused. It's hard for me to interact with you guys when I play Elden Ring. Quite the opposite with Skyrim, when it's very, very much a chill playthrough. We can have chill, interactive fun, okay? Excuse me. Excuse me. Tomorrow, I'm here. Wait, what? I'm here on Monday? Yes. It's not early April Fools. I'm actually here streaming tomorrow. I've been telling you guys all week I didn't know what my streaming schedule was. Now I've been told by my wife that she's working tomorrow, so that means I'm working tomorrow. All right? So I'm here tomorrow. Weird. But I'll be here, and I hope that people will listen and show up and not be like, oh, Phil's not here, and then come on Tuesday when there's tumbleweeds rolling by and be like, what's with the tumbleweeds and where's Phil? You know? So, I'm here tomorrow. More Elden Ring on the first stream. And then it'll be Horizon Zero... I almost said Zero Dawn. Oh, this hour. This hour is killing me. Horizon Forbidden West on the late stream on Monday. Last night, we played Horizon Forbidden West. It went pretty good. We did all side content last night. Not a single piece of story progression. We ended up doing 2 major side quests that were in relation to Talo and Zoe, our 2 companions from the story. And now we're going to go back to the story progression, trying to track down Ted Farrow's activation codes or something like that. We'll be playing tomorrow night, okay? And that'll be my final stream of the week. I will not be here on Tuesday. When I return on Wednesday, there's going to be a surprise twist. Because, ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesday, if you can believe it, out of nowhere, Elden Ring. Wow! I never would have expected that. Yeah, it'll be Elden Ring and Skyrim on Wednesday, and it'll be Elden Ring and Horizon on Thursday. And what I'm really curious about this week is listening to what people have to say about this upcoming Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy game, okay? I really just can't put my finger on this game. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be bad. I just don't know. And apparently no one else can either. Some people who play the game in the demo are like, wow, this game is total shit. And others are like, nah, it feels like the game has potential. And it could be one of those situations where it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, where the way that they've presented the game just wasn't a good way to market it, and it doesn't really accurately represent what the game will actually be as a final product. Or it could just be that the game is incredibly cringe and shitty, and everything up to now has actually been very representative of what the game is. I don't know. So let's see what happens this week. But right now, I am not planning on playing it, only because Elden fucking Ring, you know, is so long and crazy challenging, and everyone wants to see me keep playing it. So why play something else when this is all anyone wants to see? Plus, I need to keep making progress in it. How can I only be a third in the game? A third. It's insane, right? It is. So anyway, let's see what happens. Let's see these early reviews. I'm sure will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and first impression videos and shit like that. Let's see what people have to say. I'm not completely writing it off, but I'll be honest, I'm not sold on it at all. It doesn't look very good to me. So let's see. Okay. All right. Very nice. So that's kind of the week. The week will be Elden Ring paired with either Horizon or Skyrim. Late stream on Friday, of course, will be Street Fighter. And we'll keep our ear to the ground. Listening. Always listening. Always paying attention to the pulse of gamers everywhere. To see if people like. I don't have a pulse. What's going on? I guess I'm one dead. Listening to see if gamers everywhere are interested in this Strangers of Paradise game or not. And if you guys want to see me play it. Okay. The games I'm definitely playing this month are Ghostwire Tokyo and Kirby. What? Phil, I love these people's reactions to this one. Phil, you're playing Kirby? Wait a minute. You put Dying Light 2 on hold and you're playing Kirby? You skipped WWE 2K22 entirely, but you're playing Kirby? You'll still be playing Elden Ring, and you're going to take time away from playing Elden Ring to play Kirby? Yes. Anyway, so there you go. That was refreshing. This seltzer is very refreshing this morning. So, that's kind of the schedule, guys. Members went down again. There's nothing I can do about this. As I told you guys many times, I can't control this at this point. I've done everything I can to incentivize memberships, including bringing back the events that you like Viewer's Choice. It's not enticing anyone to become a member because YouTube is dragging their feet and not doing their jobs, living up to the promises that they gave last year of improving streaming. So until they live up to their promises, I can't improve anything around here when it comes to memberships. But I will say this. Thank you to those who are supporting the streams via super chats, super stickers, tips. It's been great recently. Thank you to those who are engaging with the streams, liking the streams when you watch them because you like the content, liking the videos when you watch them, giving comments on the videos, making this channel show up in YouTube search. Thank you for that. You have been doing that in droves the last 2 freaking months, and it is helping the channel to grow. It absolutely, positively is. You're doing everything you possibly can to help out, really. So thank you for that. Don't feel bad because you look at this and you're like, oh, this is going down. I don't, at this point, I'll be honest with you, I really don't even care. I wish I could do something to motivate more people, but it just doesn't seem like there's a way to do so. I guess if people don't see the value in a highlighted name in stream chat, getting a chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter, accessing all of my emotes, you know, not having to abide by the slow mode rules, getting priority access in various events and shows and things, I can't do much about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't. I put 100 things, features into being a member, and it's still not good enough, you know? I don't care. I'll be honest at this point. I really don't care at this point. There's nothing I can do. I tried my hardest last month, and we got like 10 short, and I'm like, fuck this. So anyway, thank you guys. For those who are engaging in all the ways you are engaging and helping the channel, you absolutely are. I'm not going to be some negative defeatist idiot and yell at you guys. I'm not going to be on stream and yell at you, oh, if you can watch my stream, you can become a member or a sub, and I'm an entitled little whiny content creator who demands that you become a member or sub in my channel. Oh, I might be copying someone there. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry if I sounded just like someone. Anyway, so what are we going to talk about this morning? There's not much to talk about this morning. The sad fact is that a lot of games that had a lot of potential and a lot of games that I feel are actually quite good games are now failing. And what I mean by that is they are not getting ongoing player base, they're not getting ongoing sales, and they're not getting ongoing viewership on the internet anywhere anymore. Halo Infinite. This is like one of the saddest cases. This game went from being number one, top of the heat, everyone hyped, everyone talking about it, memeing about it, playing it, loving it. The game is effectively dead, man. I think at one point, like, the most people, there's only a few thousand people even watching it on, like, Twitch anymore. At any time, the actual player base of the Master Chief Collection is actually almost as high as the player base for Halo Infinite at this point. And the Master Chief Collection you have to buy, while Halo Infinite is completely free. Well, I guess if you have Game Pass, technically they're both free. But I think you understand what I'm saying here. The legacy games are almost beating out the amount of people playing the new one. Yikes. I mean, how do you botch this so fucking badly? Oh my god. You were number one. Everyone cared about the game and talked about it. And then they didn't update shit. They couldn't even do little tweaks to fix things. Big team battles didn't work for like a fucking month and a half and they couldn't fix it. It was like, I just don't understand how you could be this incompetent. It's almost like they didn't want to be successful. And then when they were shocked that people liked their game. Wait, they actually like this dog shit we made? Oh, fuck. Now we got to actually pretend like it's good. But in reality, we weren't ready for this. We actually fired everyone who worked on the game. Now we got to get them all back. Like, I don't know what I really don't know what they're doing over there. How the fuck do you have a whole studio working on a game, but there's no changes or improvements? Like, I just don't get it. And it's funny because, you know, you thought that when they had that announcement about a week ago about what's coming up, oh, there's, you know, here's what's going to come out in May, the updates in May, the new maps and things that are coming. No one cares. The game is effectively dead on arrival. Well, not dead on arrival, but just dead over time, you know. Damn. What a sad state, you know. Horizon, Forbidden West. A game that I feel if it released any other time during the year, literally any other time, it would have been more popular than it is because it released the week before Elden Ring. Like, yikes. Again, if you want to take a look at how many people are streaming Elden Ring, over like hundreds of thousands of people. And Horizon, there's like 2,000 people, if that. Actually, what I'm saying this wrong. The amount of people watching, not the amount of people streaming, the amount of people watching these games, okay? As well as people talking about them on social media, people still playing them. You know, there's a statistic that came out. Listen to this statistic. It came out overnight. First of all, Horizon sold really well. Why? Because it came out the week before Elden Ring, so everyone who had a PlayStation 4 or 5 bought it, knowing that Sony exclusives are usually quite good. But listen to this statistic. out of the record sales this game made as a Sony exclusive, to this date, all right, which is what, almost, is it about a month now since it came out, roughly? It's about a month, give or take, maybe a few days off. Only 13% of people who bought Horizon have completed the game. Only 13%. Okay? Now, could it be that Horizon is just such a long, lengthy game, so much side content, so much to do in the game, that people are completely immersed in this universe? They're running around doing every possible piece of content. Oh, hello, Jasper. Hi, buddy. He said, no, right in front of me. Oh, that's so cute. He wants attention, you silly kitty. He's upset about Horizon 2. He really wanted Horizon to do well. And, you know, he's very upset about the sad state of Horizon. I am, too. Because I think it's a good game, Jasper Kitty. I do. I think Horizon's quite a good game. I'm sad that this happened. But anyway, in regards to Horizon, only 13% of people who bought it have beaten it. Now, yes, the game has tons of content. The game has a big open world, and if you're actually wandering around doing all the side quests, all the missions, for example, the combat challenges that they have in the arenas, and the rare hunts, so you can get the components to upgrade your armor and equipment and stuff, yeah, the game could probably be over 100 hours long. All right, do you think everyone that bought the game is doing all of that? No, they're playing Elden Ring. That's what happened. Elden Ring came out. It became a giant internet meme. It became the biggest mainstream game in many, many years. And no one is talking about Horizon. Everyone played Horizon for 1 week, probably got, 20 hours into it, which is about effectively halfway through the story, and then said, oh, look, Elden Ring. And they took their controllers, they slammed them down, fuck this, and then they started playing Elden Ring, and that's it. They're part of the meme crew now. And this is, I hate to say it, sadly, one of the major things going on in gaming today. It's not only about the quality of your game at all. All right? You could have the best game ever fucking made come out. But if you don't have the right marketing, and if you don't have the right timing, you need to have that game hit on all cylinders so when it releases, it's the big meme of the internet. Seriously. Your game has to be the game everyone's talking about, memeing about, joking about, putting out viral tweets, putting out TikTok posts, putting out Instagram storylines, whatever it may be, right? Whatever, it's gotta be the thing. And Elden Ring completely, utterly dominated the gaming scene when it came out. No one expected it to be the dynamo that it is, and it kind of completely took over for everything. I mean, take a look at, like I talked about this yesterday, that game Shadow Warrior 3 or whatever. Do you really think that when they planned it to come out in early March, that they would think no one would play their game because people are still playing Elden Ring? No, but it did. No one even knows Shadow Warrior 3 exists. In another world where Elden Ring didn't come out, a lot of people might have played Shadow Warrior 3. The game undersold monstrously, and the people on their social media are doing desperate tweets like, oh, gee, when you guys are done with the Elden Ring, can you come play our game? I'm not even kidding. Like, there's tweets like that on their fucking timeline. So, like, oh, yeah. And the funny part is, I love Horizon. I really think the game is good, and it grows on me. Are there frustrating parts about Horizon? Yes. Listen, it's not a perfect game for sure. It does a lot of stuff the same as the first game. The platforming's still a little bit wonky. The combat is still very repetitive, even though they added new things to the combat. Like, what I'm really liking is unlocking these special abilities. Like, I have this bolt caster that essentially is like a machine gun, and you can charge it up to just go full auto for like 10 seconds, unloading all of your ammo into an enemy's weak spot. You feel like fucking like you're Dirty Harry or some badass just going crazy. I like that. But at the end of the day, the combat's the same as the first game. Scan an enemy, look at its weaknesses, shoot it into weak points with the elements it's weak to, wash, rinse, and repeat. There's not much to it. Where the game excels is the world design. The world of I almost said Elden Ring. Yikes. The world of Horizon is beautiful, varied in its climates and its locations. The story is really good. Like, I haven't beaten it yet, obviously, but the story gets better. The more I play it, I like the story advancing more and more. And the side content is a mixed bag. Some of the side content is quite good, but I think that one of the major problems with the game is they packed it with so much side content. The game feels so daunting Because you look at the map, you're like, Jesus Christ, there's 700 icons on this fucking map. What am I supposed to do? Am I looking for the bonfires? Am I looking for the tall necks? Am I going to the cauldrons? Am I going to the camp takeovers? Am I going to do these individual quests that I got by talking to some guy sitting there whining, you know, on a rock about bullshit, but he gave me a quest to do? You know, do I do this companion mission? Do I go to a camp of, or a known location, a hunting ground of a certain kind of creature and try to hunt the rare creature? Like, what am I doing? And the answer is, it doesn't matter. Because sadly, most of the content in the game is superfluous to progress in the game. If you just play the main story, you'll likely just beat the game with natural progression. There's literally no reason to do any side content. Now, I don't know if they did that because they wanted the game to be accessible, and they thought, hey, if we make it so there's a streamlined main story you can just cruise through, or if you're the kind of person who's buying a game not just to get through a story, but maybe you want to spend $60 and play this game for 2-3 months, right? This is the one game you can get for like 2-3 months, and you want enough content to hold you over, the game will have a ton of content, right? Maybe that's what they were going for. For me, my major criticism, honestly, of the game is that the side content really isn't meaningful or rewarding. It's in there, and it's nice that it's in there, but when you're doing 2 to 4 hours of side content, and you gained a couple levels, you got a few skill points, but you didn't get any good weapons or rewards for it. You didn't get any crafting components needed to upgrade anything that you're currently using. And at the end of the day, like, it just felt like you wasted your time. Oh, I got a new face paint. Oh, good. You know? Face paint. Like, in real life, you couldn't just pick something off the ground and smear it on your fucking face for free. Why'd I have to do 4 hours of work to get this? Right? And that's kind of what it feels like. It's like, damn, I really wish that they had added meaningful stuff. Some of the quests I'm doing are meaningful, but I feel like a lot of the shit is not meaningful. And that's a problem when you've got Elden Ring. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So anyway, yeah. The sad story of Horizon continues. The game, sadly, is just completely falling out of favor. No one's talking about it. No one's playing it on Twitch or any other streaming service, pretty much. Which makes sense. Like, when I play it, I get 200 viewers. People are like, Phil, you're in the top 5 viewers on YouTube for playing this now. I'm like, what? How? It's a relatively new release. It's not even a month old yet. Like, that's ridiculous. You know? But it is what it is. So, yeah, sad state. Halo, a game that was on top, completely destroyed. No one talks about it or plays it anymore. No one really cares about this update coming in May. Seems like the game's pretty dead. Horizon, a game, like I said, released any other time of this year, likely would have been the featured game. Everyone would have been talking about it, you know, memeing about it, and a game that the worst timing possible, just completely dead after a week. Okay. Sadness Aaron says, Elden Ring has meaningful, fun, rewarding side content where Horizon doesn't seem to. Well, let's think about this. Elden Ring, how does it do the side content? Well, number one, you could be exploring and discover a completely optional area you didn't know existed. There's a fun dungeon in it, unique enemy types, challenges, and rewards. Like, I found this dungeon called the Ravine. I start killing the enemies in it. I'm finding all these crafting stones so now I can upgrade all my weapons. Oh shit, this is cool. And at the end, there's a completely unique boss. Nothing like anything in the game so far. Fight it, kill it, get a unique weapon, my new weapon now. So, now, compare that with Horizon. Oh, here's a side quest. By the way, usually you don't just discover them. People tell you where they are. You go there, you grind for 45 minutes against repetitive enemies that aren't very interesting. It's pretty much the same shit over and over. Kind of boring. The end of it, here's your reward. You know, a fucking berry. A healing berry. And a potion. And a face paint. And a bow that was outdated 20 hours ago. Oh. Thanks. I really appreciate that. You really put effort into this one. And that's kind of the comparison here. Sad. Right? It sucks. It sucks when a game is good, but when it's immediately superseded by another game that's just better. And it's in the same vein. It's open world, you know? These open world games, man. Seriously, you had passable, good, great, all in 1 month. You had Dying Light 2, passable game. Not great, but passable. Horizon, oh, much better. Better world, better story, more interesting. Elden Ring, like crazy knock your socks off level of, you know, it's like, oh, fuck. Oh my God. And here's the hilarious mindset. El Gordo says, oh, we'll drop the game if you don't like it. It's not fun. I do like it. I like it. I played it last night, 2 hours. I had fun the whole time. All the side missions I did, I thought that they were kind of meaningful. Because you were helping out the side characters. I helped out Katalo and Zoe. And Zoe, that plotline finished. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to change the area of the world called Plainsong that previously was all blighted. I think now Plainsong's supposed to be like cleaned up. I don't know because I haven't gone back yet. And Katalo apparently is going to get a replacement arm for the army lost in the plot. Cool. I had fun with it last night. Just because I'm criticizing something and saying it's not as good as something else doesn't mean I don't like it. But this is the problem with the world. People are very simple-minded. They think it's black or white. It's good or bad. No, that's not how the world works. You know? You know, when I was a kid, I really liked peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I did. Now as an adult, I don't like them that much. Does that mean that they're bad? No. It just means that you know, things change, your attitudes change, your flavors change, even your taste buds change over time. Shit, right? Oh, I don't like peanut butter and jelly anymore. Why? Is it bad? No. I don't understand this, really. Weird mentality. Okay. All right, guys. Well. Stewie420 did a super chat and says, shout out to my little homie Kirby, best low tier ever. Okay, then. I don't know what you're talking about unless you're saying he's a low tier in a competitive game like Brawl or something. Stewie. Stewie420. He actually typed it out as words, but I'm going to put the number there to abbreviate so it doesn't take up too much space on our leaderboard here. Okay? Thank you, Stewie. So, all right. So, guys, guess... Oh, what the hell just happened? Accidentally closed the screen. There we go. That's all I really got. Like I said, not a big podcast today. Nothing crazy going on. There hasn't been game news in a while. Seriously, like there's nothing going on in the realm of games right now. I get the feeling soon, because I think what's going to end up happening is very shortly we're going to start seeing these digital events come out to announce new games. You know, E3 season is in the air, although E3 no one fucking cares about. But you know what I'm saying? Like there'll probably be a lot of companies announcing stuff in the next month to 2 months, and then gaming news will pick up in a big way. But right now there's just nothing going on in gaming news. So I will now open up the PreStream podcast to open Q&A with the viewers. This could go incredibly quickly, or this could take a while. It usually depends on the questions asked. Galaxicade asks, am I excited for Street Fighter 6? You can't get excited for something that you have no information about. You might as well ask me, am I excited for, you know, am I excited for Resident Evil 10? Yes. Don't know anything about it, but, you know, I hope it's good. I can't get excited for something I don't have any information about. Just being honest. Yoshino Lover says, man, I figured I'd come by and hang out with you a bit and enjoy watching you play Elden Ring. Sounds good, Yoshino. Welcome to the stream. We're in the Academy, which is the second major dungeon of the game, even though there's many, many, many smaller minor dungeons. This is the second big one, and we're doing good progress. I'm kicking major ass, melting things with the magma sword, having a good time. It should be a good time once I get in there. Zen Shuriken says, what do I think about tipping? If you mean in regards to like in real life going out and tipping people, I always tip if I feel that the you know, number one, you gotta tip certain things, okay? If you're going to a restaurant and a waiter or waitress there working their butt off, you gotta tip them, okay? You just got to. Go to a bar, that bartender is expecting to live on tips, right? What I don't understand about tipping is why are there certain industries where people get paid less than minimum wage, but then they get tips, so it's acceptable? How is that acceptable? Minimum wage is a federal law. How can you get paid less than federal minimum wage? How is that allowed legally? I don't understand that. So how do I feel about tipping? Well, I feel that if you go somewhere and someone gives you good service, Passable service should get a decent tip. Okay. Good service should get a higher tip. And then every once in a while, if you're in a good mood and you can afford it, and someone did something nice for you, you should give them a great tip, right? Like I remember back when I went to Tennessee for a qualifier for Super Battle Opera. I went there with John Rambo, and that's actually where we hung out with many different players from the Super Turbo scene. Had a good time together. We went to a Texas Roadhouse. And I told everyone back then, by the way, I mean, we're talking 10 years ago, I was making dirty money on YouTube. Ad revenue was so insane on YouTube. It was absolutely ridiculous, out of control. I was rolling in more money than I knew what to do with. So whenever we went somewhere, I told everyone I would just pay for everything because I could. I had tons of money to do it. So we went to this Texas Roadhouse, and we all got some delicious food. And the waiter was a really nice guy to us. You know, he kept checking on us, refilling our drinks, asking us how everything was, chilling with us, even talked with us, a little bit of conversation about what life is like in Tennessee and yada, yada, yada. So I gave him a crazy good tip. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure our bill was probably, it was me and like maybe 5-6 other people. So each of us, our bill was probably like 30-40 bucks. No, it wasn't 40. It was probably like 20-30 bucks each. So I paid for all that, and I think I tipped the guy like $50, you know. Typically, the guy probably gets like a $10-15 tip. So I gave him like a $50 tip because he was a really nice guy. He did a lot of work, and he did a good job. Okay? 2 days later, okay, the Roadhouse was so good, we decided to go there again. It was actually our last meal before we left Tennessee. So we go there, and the guy is working again, okay? And he comes over, and he actually says, "Sir, can you actually come over here for a minute?" And he pulled me off from the table. I was like, whoa, uh-oh, what happened? Did something bad go? Did we do something bad? He pulls me aside, and he says, "I just want to let you know." He starts to tear up. He goes, "I just want to let you know your tip the other night really helps me out. Like, I'm actually kind of hard up right now in life, and your tip, like, is so helping me. You're such a nice guy, and I really appreciate that you did that because you didn't have to do that." And, you know, it kind of hit me hard, and I'm like, some people are just people, man. You know, people just take shit for granted that, that guy works as a waiter, that woman works as a waitress. They know what they're getting into when they get this job. And, you know, they know they're going to work for less than minimum wage, and it all evens out. It doesn't matter how much you tip someone. It all evens out, right? The truth is that some of these people are like you and me. They have hard times. They need help. And you may not even realize that you're helping someone, but just doing something nice can change someone's whole attitude. It can make them feel good. It can make a terrible day go right. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that a little act of kindness, how far it can go. And it actually hit me, like, at that point, I was like, dude, from now on, I absolutely will be very conscious when I go out that I make sure that I tip appropriately, if not a little more, because you know that these people need the help. And it's funny because personally, I don't go crazy tipping. Like, if I go to a restaurant, typically I'll go for about, what is it? It's like 15% they say is the default you're supposed to tip. So I'll at least try to tip 15% of the bill, if not maybe just a little bit more. And everywhere I go, at least, if I'm a regular, people are like very nice and friendly to me and happy. So it's obvious they don't think I'm under tipping them. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it makes me feel like people are shitheads and they do under tip all the time. And they're appreciative when someone actually tips what they're supposed to be tipping. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is pissing me off. Okay, there we go. I cleared my throat. So, yeah, you know, so I usually go out of my way to make sure I'm doing the 15% bare minimum. And then if I feel like the service was a little bit better than that, then I'll go a little higher than that. So yeah, that's my philosophy anyway. Okay. Excuse me. D Money says drop Forbidden West for WWE. No. Okay. Trust me, we will get to WWE. It's going to happen at some point. The question is when and why are we rushing? WWE is not like other releases. It's just not. It's not a narrative-based game. It's actually a game that will be better in time because there'll be more created content to mess around with. Why are we rushing into WWE? And what exactly do you expect me to do in WWE that we need to do right away? I'm really confused about this. Only Fear of Death says, are shields not as important in Elden Ring? I see everyone streaming opting for dual-wielding weapons or one heavy weapon. No, I think shields are actually quite good in Elden Ring. Because remember, not only can you parry in this game like previous Souls game, but now you can also do the new counterattack. That's the mechanic where you block, and as soon as you block, you hit R2, and you can do a heavy attack that can, if timed correctly, can counter hit and stagger an opponent. And if it staggers the opponent, now you get a counter follow-up, too. I actually think shields are much better. I just think it's a couple different things. Number one, in recent years, when you look at games, they haven't really had a shield implemented. For example, Sekiro doesn't have shields. Bloodborne doesn't have shields, right? If you actually look at the latest FromSoft games, out of the last three, which would be Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, only one of them even had effective shields. So maybe people have fallen out of the shields gameplay. Shields were huge in Dark Souls 1 and 2, and to some extent in 3. But people just, I think, have kind of like gotten out of the mindset. If they want more action-based rather than just block, block, block everything. Because you can. Like, it's very, very possible. If you have a poise build, you can block a ton of shit in Elden Ring and get away with it. In fact, what a lot of people have been saying online is that the easy mode of the game is sword, shield, heavy, like poise, defense style gameplay, summon all the time, like constantly summoning with the ashes, and basically, you know, using all the tools in front of you. But that's like the easy mode gameplay of the game, supposedly. I don't know. But for me, like, I prefer more action-based. I don't want to stand there and block, block, block everything and then learn a pattern. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just on the fly try to dodge, you know? Same thing in fighting games, too. In a fighting game, I would much rather dodge or counterattack something than just sit there blocking all day. I don't like turtle. If it was like, oh, it's a turtle. Turtle gameplay is when you just play hyper defensively. You don't attack that much, but you know how to block almost everything. And then every once in a while, you pick and choose your little hit, and then you block more. I don't like that gameplay. I always find that kind of boring. I like to be on the offense. I like to be action moving. And, oh, they make a mistake, punish that mistake, right? That's how I've always been in a fighting game. That's kind of my mentality in these games, too. So, there you go. There you go. Now, I don't know. I'm not a master of Elden Ring. I don't know how effective the shields are. I've got a ton of them, but I haven't really used it. I had one at the very beginning, and I stopped using it. I said, fuck this. I'd rather two-hand these swords. That's the other thing, too. When you two-hand a weapon, you get to use a weapon that you don't really have the stats to use yet, because you're using both hands, and it allows you to use things that maybe you feel like are a little bit more powerful, like maybe you're punching a little bit above your weight class, you know what I'm saying? That's what I've been doing for most of the playthrough, so. Alright, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about on the stream chat. This is supposed to be Q&A. Not talking about this bullshit. So shut up about it right now. There you go. Curse Text Fusions of the Jellyfish Shield is dope. I haven't tried it. I have it, but I haven't tried it. Yoshino Lover says, I tried changing my build up to something different. It didn't work out, so I went back to my strength build. Can't you respec? Aren't there times in the game where you can respec? I've already found 2 of the items. They're called, what are they, like larval... a larval something or other, and I guess when you find the place where you can respec, use one of these items to start over, right? That's it. Moo Homer says you'll have access to better strength and faith weapons eventually, but you can actually just stick with the golden halberd the whole game. It's very OP. It trivializes a lot of the content. But I'm not. If you didn't notice, I switched it up. Did you watch the last stream, Moo Homer? I'm using the magma sword now. I feel like the moveset of the magma sword is better, but the magma sword is weaker. But I just like the moveset. Like the freaking special ability is insane. Slam the sword into the ground, causing an avalanche of lava erupting out of the ground. Jump with the lava erupting under you and slam it to the enemy, do a follow-up, draw the sword back attack, and then jump again. If you have enough FP, it's like a 4 or 5 hit magma combo. It melts the enemies. It's sweet. I like it. So. Magma sword is solid. It gets stronger at +9, +10. And that sword can also carry you for the whole game. The other sword that I like is the ice rapier that I got. I can't remember what it's called, but I only used it for like an hour. But I was kicking ass with it. I was killing enemies. I killed that giant fucking, the magma worm boss I killed with it. Which is hilarious because it's a boss that's unique. And I'm like, watch this. Me. I just poked the fuck out of him and he couldn't even move. Also, I like its speed. You know what I liked when I was on the horse and I was fighting the cuckoo knights and I was poking the fuck out of them? I poke them till the horse falls over and then they're on the ground and I'm just keep stabbing them in the balls with it and they can't get up. They're like, oh, my balls. Stop striking my privates. Oh. It's fun. Mika says, what's with all the Q&A lately? There's not much else to do because there's not a lot going on with gaming news. Usually I'd have either if there's something going on like a holiday or something special, pertinent, I'll talk about it, right? Or if there's something in gaming news, it's nothing going on right now. We're in the middle of March, right? Just wait for my St. Patrick's Day Spectacular when I'll be drinking green beer and eating shamrock shakes and eating 4-leaf clover pie. And, you know, leprechauns will be dancing all around here on the PreStream podcast, of course. Yes, hello, Guts. How you doing? Okay, here's some tips that came in. Anto Kamaru did a $1.50 tip. He says, watching you dick shot everything with magic makes me so jelly. I'm a pure dexterity build. There ain't shit for dex users. It's rough out there in these streets for dex bros. And yeah, you'll be able to respec real soon. You know, question for dexterity users. Can you even do the caves? The caves of the miners? That's where all the smithing stones are, because those miners are made of pure rock, right? And I tried early on in the game. Remember, I had a different weapon, and it wasn't even hurting them. And it wasn't until I went to like a larger two-handed blunter weapon that I could actually do damage to those guys. If you're a dex user, aren't you using more of the fast, dainty movesets? So how are you even hurting those guys, right? Because can you even cause bleed damage to those stone enemies? You can use a flail to beat them. I guess that's true. A flail, I guess, would be considered one of the more agile, blunt weapons. I guess that makes sense. Bleed damage, so they do get bleed damage. Ah, so you can't do base damage, but you hit them enough, they bleed out. That's interesting. Okay. Atlas Telemon to me $1.50 says, did turtling become the playstyle description solely because of Guile in Street Fighter 2, and then use more commonplace to describe the style in and outside of fighting games? Yeah, turtling is actually, well, first of all, the original meaning of turtling, you may not know this, is when you really gotta take a shit, and actually the turd starts to come out, but then you have to suck it back in because you can't use the bathroom then. You can't get to a toilet. So they call it turtle heading or turtling. That's not even scat humor. I'm serious. That's real. But anyway, the term turtling in regards to video games means playing hyper defensively, like a turtle. You go inside your shell and you just avoid being damaged, okay? Now, turtling in a fighting game means playing ultra defensively and then every once in a while taking your shots. When you see that opening, boop, do a little bit of damage. Okay, now I just defend everything else. And turtling became more and more effective depending on the style of game. In particular, like Capcom vs. SNK 2, as well as Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Turtling became serious business. Third Strike, there's people who just parry everything. They don't even look to hit you. They parry everything, then they hit you twice. I've seen players like that. So, in regards to where it originally originated, I mean, Street Fighter 2. There were people who played ultra defensively in Street Fighter 2. They wouldn't, and be like, man, if you're not going to attack me, how am I ever supposed to hit you? Like, you're blocking everything. You know, this was before people figured out about cross-ups and that throws could basically be tick throw, so you could tick someone they're blocking, then throw them out of the block. People didn't realize that back in the day. They had to learn that stuff to find a way around turtling. But, yeah, turtling originally was just ultra defensive gameplay in Street Fighter 2, and then it branched out into every other fighting game, and then, of course, eventually it branched out into all game genres where they talk about it, right? They use it as a term. Right. Let's see here. No, Galaxicade, I'm never going pro at fighting games ever again. It would have to be the rarest of situations. Right now, my business as well as my personal life would not be accommodating to me becoming a pro player. Becoming a pro player, first of all, in any game requires an insane, and I mean it, an insane amount of time and dedication. You know, even back in the day when I was considered a pro player at Street Fighter, and I say that in quotations because I didn't make a living playing Street Fighter, ever. No one did. Even people who were at the highest competitive levels winning EVO and other tournaments did not make a living playing Street Fighter back in the day. There was no sponsorships, no teams, no way to make a living doing it. It was just a hobby for everybody, okay? But even back then, you know, I was good and I would go to tournaments and I would win, but most people who were high-level players played constantly, and I mean it. Like, they didn't have fucking full-time jobs. They didn't go to school. They just played Street Fighter. I'm serious about that. Like, it was insane, the level that these people went to play competitive Street Fighter, to the point where a lot of people said, well, how can they do that? I don't know. I don't know if it was just their fucking parents paying their way to do it, or if they just found a way to scam their way around shit, because there were people who I saw at every fucking tournament ever. You know what I mean? I'm like, how are you here? How are you at every tournament? How are you affording it? There's no prize money to even pay for your way, so how are you affording to be at every tournament and play everywhere? I don't get it, you know? Today's very different, because now you have online play and all kinds of other shit going on, but back then it was very different. So, but just to get to that competitive level, you had to play a ridiculous amount, all right? And I'm talking, like I told you guys, when I was at that level, that was my hobby. It wasn't like, oh, so Phil played competitive Street Fighter, but he also was into this hobby. He was movies, sports. No, it was competitive Street Fighter was my hobby. It took up all of my time to be at a competitive level in the game. You understand? So for me to get competitive in a fighting game, all right, I would have to drop the whole idea of being a full-time variety streamer. I would have to say, no, I have to dedicate my time now to being the competitive fighting game player, and then every once in a while do a different kind of stream, but not exaggerating. Like, every day there would be a major stream of fighting games. That's how much I would have to play, and you know what I mean? At the launch of any major fighter, I would have to be playing it 3, 4, 5 hours a day, constantly, to stay at a level that I could play it in a competition. You know what I'm saying? And so, oh my god. Emil, holy shit, dude. Emil H just did an insanely huge tip. Again, Emil has been tipping a lot this week. NDO yesterday also tipped a very large tip. Thank you, NDO. But Emil, with an insanely huge $147.86 tip. Damn! Thank you, Emil. That is nuts. That means we're $1 short of hitting all the goals. If you can believe it. A single dollar short. Okay? Let's get that up on the leaderboard. And let's actually get a poll going for our hat today. Yeah, Emil, can you explain why you tip these amounts? Because you always tip like a certain specific amount with pennies. It's weird. It really is. Anyway, all right. So, Gunner Glasses. Thank you so much, Emil. And he said Elden Week. That's what his comment was, Elden Week. He really enjoyed Elden Ring this week, obviously. Right? Only Fear of Death says, thoughts on the elitist Elden Ring community who say summoning is not a legitimate win against the boss? Yeah, it's called bullshit. It's called sour grapes. It's called a bunch of fucking nerdish online losers who are gatekeeping a game because they're a bunch of fucking, basically, I hate to say it, hyper-focused nerds who think that the game is like theirs. Oh, we own the game, we own the community, and we can tell you what's legit and what's not. No, you can't. Fuck you. No, I mean it. No, fuck you. You don't have the right to tell people the right and wrong way to play. If there's something in the game, use it. Literally. Seriously, literally every pro player that I've watched play the game, and I've watched 3 different ones, all considered various levels of pro player. They play FromSoft games like for a living, and or, you know, they're in that heavy community or whatever. Every single fucking one of them has said, don't let anyone tell you how to play this game. You play it however you enjoy it, all right? And, you know, if you're in the challenge run community, that's one thing. okay? If you're in the challenge run community and you want to prove something, oh, I'm good at the game or whatever, then when you do like a second, third, fourth, fifth run with criteria around it, that's fine. But absolutely no one should be gatekeeping the game and saying that it's not legit if someone's using the stuff that they put into the fucking game to beat the game. That is insane. Anyway. Let's get a hat poll going. Let's see. What did I... Yesterday I did real life... Yeah, I still want the real life Dumas helmet to be eligible today, though. So we'll do the pilot hat. We'll do Pikachu hat. We'll do the real life Dumas helmet. And we'll do... We're doing Skyrim tonight, so I don't want to do the Viking, because that's going to be for Skyrim tonight. I guess we'll do the Punisher beanie. So the pilot hat, the Pikachu hat, the real life Dumas helmet, or the Punisher beanie. There we go. Okay. So please vote, all right? But no, like, seriously, no one has the right to tell anyone how to enjoy a game. It's one thing if there's a competitive game, a competitive community for it, and it's all, like, meant to be an actual versus competition, and people are cheating or something like that, right? Like, for example, right now, if I go to play Halo Infinite, and I have a wall hack going on, so I can see all my enemies through walls, yeah, that's not allowed. That's fucked up. You shouldn't be doing that. Or if you're playing Street Fighter, right? And you have you press a certain amount of buttons and it disables the punches on your opponent's controller. Or you're turning on a lag switch and it cheats the game because people can't play with the lag switch and it fucks them up. You know, yes, those are all considered not fair, cheating, shouldn't happen, right? Right. This is a fucking single player game. There's no competition. No one should be gatekeeping the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Let people play it and enjoy it for what they want to do with it. Who are you to tell people that what they're doing is not right or not the right way to play it and they shouldn't be enjoying themselves doing it that way? You're an asshole. Really. And I mean it. I think what's happening is that whole get good community of online fucking losers is finally being exposed for how big of fucking losers they are. Seriously. It's like, geez, you're actually showing that you're basically just trying to be dicks about this for no fucking reason. Now, what's hilarious about this is Elden Ring has no input delay. Who's going to get banned because they're not supposed to be here anyway? Says, well, I do the same thing with fighting games. Wrong. I literally just explained the difference. Fighting games are meant to be competitive. A one-on-one competition. When you dumb down a fighting game, you take away that level of skill and competition. You make it easy mode, and you make it not as competitive because there's no skill involved to get good at it. That's not the case with Elden Ring. It's a single-player game, you fucking lunatic. Get the fuck off my stream. Okay. Alice Telemon has tipped me $1.50. He says, shout out to Emil H. Thank you, Alice, for the tip. And yes, indeed, shout out to Emil H, who's been incredibly supportive this week. And because of this, now we are at $150 in tips, and we will also have a vest today. But we need the hat poll to go first. Then the Equalizer is here and just tipped me $10. Thank you to the Equalizer for a $10 tip. I appreciate that. I believe a super chat came in too. Let's see. Oh, so Parzival. Okay. Parzival became a channel member this morning. Thank you, Parzival. I appreciate that. Terror did a super chat and says, what do you think of scammers? I think they're a bunch of fucking assholes. Email now did a super chat. He says, it's actually just currency. And I love your stream. So what is its currency conversion? You're not in America, obviously. And so your currency gets converted and it ends up being a weird amount. I understand now. You were trying to hit enough for it to hit 150 and you were off by 2 cents because you couldn't tell the currency conversion. I understand. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much, Emo. And I appreciate your support and thank you for the kind words as well, saying that you love the streams. So let's get you up there. You're actually the latest super chatter. You're the highest tipper and the latest super chatter. Thank you. Okay. As expected, the hat poll's going crazy. This has happened the last few days. It's back and forth between the Dumas helmet and the pilot hat. I don't care. Either one's fine with me. Okay. Ooh. Foreman Mayweather says, not every single player game is meant to be for everyone. Forcing accessibility is insulting to the artist, don't you think? Maybe the difficulty is part of the storytelling. You do realize that the Ash summons are part of the game, right? The Ash summons aren't a hack that someone added to the game. Right now, the major criticism of Elden Ring is that Ash summons make boss fights easy. That Ash summons distract the boss, and in a lot of ways you can dogpile on the boss, and then they do a lot of the work and damage, or they distract the boss so you can do damage and not have to deal with the boss and its attacks, okay? But my take is they're in the game for a reason. They put them there for a reason. If you want to like I'm challenging myself. If you have noticed, I'm trying to legitimately beat every boss with no Ash summons. Now, it very well may be that later in the game, I will hit a wall. I'll be fighting a boss, and all of a sudden, I cannot beat this boss after many tries, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do the Ash summons, all right? But for now, I'm enjoying the added challenge. I'm doing fine without the Ash summons. Am I dying a few times? Yes. But it doesn't matter. I persevere. It's not a huge deal, you know? That's why I said that the death counter in this game is completely pointless. I'm challenging myself to not use Ash summons. Don't you think that in every boss, if I immediately summon 2 Ash creatures to distract the boss, I'd probably one-shot every boss in the game? Probably. So far, I probably would have. But I'm not doing that, you see? So, I just think it's kind of silly that there's stuff in the game people are using, and now people are criticizing them, saying you're not doing it right. Or sorceries, too. I've seen that. People saying the sorceries in the game are overpowered, and if you're doing a pure sorcerer build, oh, that breaks the game, and that's not fair, and, you know, you're not doing it right. They're gatekeeping the game that way, too, and I completely disagree from that, too. Sadness Aaron says, later bosses don't even care about the Ash summons. Even if they're upgraded, some just don't care. They ignore them. Foreman Mayweather says, well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about journalists saying that difficulty modes being put into the game. Listen, it is completely and utterly up to the game developer to determine what they want to do, okay? The truth of the matter is, no games need to be accessible. That's sad, though, because I want video games to be enjoyed by a wider crowd. And especially if the reason that game is not accessible to someone could be because of a physical disability or something. That's sad because it's not someone's fault that they have a physical disability. Why should they suffer and not be able to enjoy entertainment value out of games that we get? You know what I'm saying? How many games are out there cannot be played by someone with a disability? And why that's just really messed up. These people are avid fans of video games like we are. And why can't they enjoy them just as much as us? That's not fair. And I feel like there should be more and more accessibility added to games. In fact, I'm actually personally upset because The Last of Us 2 was a textbook case of how to do it right. The Last of Us 2 had unprecedented levels of accessibility. Now, games after The Last of Us 2 have tried, most have come short, and a lot have utterly failed to have any kind of level of accessibility comparing to that one. Why? You have the example, you have the textbook case. Work with the people who worked on that game. Even if you need to buy or license the technology to do it, do it. Make your games accessible, okay? Now, should there be difficulty levels in every single game? No. That's up to the game developer, really. Because here's the thing. What people don't realize, accessibility is not the same word as difficulty. For some reason, people think that making a game easier makes it more accessible. That's not the case. Take a look at The Last of Us 2. Let's say you're blind and you want to play The Last of Us 2. Well, should you make it so that you put on easy mode and there's no enemies in the game, you just walk through, it's a guided tour? Then what's the point of playing the game, right? No. What they did, they added sonar. They literally added a sonar capability. So if you're wearing headphones or you're using any kind of surround sound speaker setup, the sonar tells you what direction to go and where enemies are, and you use the sonar to play the game. You really are playing The Last of Us 2 if you play it with the sonar accessibility feature. You're not playing super dumbed down, dumb fuck, easy mode with 0 enemies or enemies you go, bloop, and they fly off the planet. They didn't do that. That's true accessibility. That's called effort. And the problem is, a lot of game developers are under the impression that the easiest way to have accessibility in their games is just to make them piss easy. That's not accessibility. That's called cheaping out and pretending like you cared when you didn't. An anonymous $10 tipper tipped me $10 anonymously. Thank you so much to the anonymous $10 tipper. I appreciate that. Awesome. Guitar Player 1939 just tipped me $4.20. Says, when I play this game, I'm going to play it the way that I want to play it. As well you should. Why listen to these demanding, whining people on the internet saying that you have to play it a certain way or else you're not playing it? They're out of their minds. Really, that whole Get Good community, I never understood that mentality. It's just, you're out of control. You want to talk about having absolutely no perspective about what's important in life? Be part of the Dark Souls Get Good community. And I think you'll say, whoa, you know, mirror, look at it, look at yourself, and realize what you're doing with your fucking life. Right? Shout out to Parzival, who just did a super chat. Says, thank you for the years of content. You are welcome, Parzival. Thank you for the super chat. How do you spell your name? Parzival. Pretty straightforward. Pretty easy, but I wanted to make sure I didn't butcher it, because I have butchered some names before pretty badly. I'm not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. You know what I'm saying? Man on Wheels says, I think easy mode should be there if people want it. The option to have it is always good as long as you're not forced. Yeah, exactly. And I guess that's another point that I'm making. The idiot earlier who was saying, oh, you say the same thing about Street Fighter. You don't want Street Fighter dumbed down, so why is it okay for a game like Elden Ring? Didn't say that. The option should be there. For example, if you want to play an easy mode in Street Fighter, and I even said this at Street Fighter 4 when it came out, okay? They wanted Street Fighter 4 to be more accessible to more people than ever before. So here's what they did. Here's how dumb this was, okay? Here's your controller. To do a Shoryuken or Dragon Punch with Ryu or Ken, you would have to press forward on the D-pad, then down forward, so you'd have to do this motion, just like that, with your finger, and then press punch. In Street Fighter 4, they decided we want this to be accessible. So instead of having to do this elaborate motion of forward, down, forward, rolling with your finger and punch, they said just double tap down, forward, and press punch. And it works. They didn't outright say it. Like in the moves list, they still list it as forward, down, forward. But you could just double tap, and it comes out every fucking time. And they did that with the whole game. Most people who played at a competitive level don't do the full inputs. They just use these ridiculous shortcuts to do the moves. They completely took any level of skill in the control segment of the game and removed it from the game. All right? Now, did it make the game more accessible? Absolutely it did. It made it that way more people could play it at a higher level. Did it make the game better? Fuck no, it didn't. It actually watered the game down to the point where it wasn't that fun anymore, because really it wasn't like the upper echelon of people had to have this great hand-eye coordination, the skill and the dexterous ability to do these elaborate combos and moves. It was just tap, mash, tap, mash, tap, mash. That was the whole game. Now, what I said when the game came out was, listen, it's okay to have those shortcuts, but have them in a mode for people who want the game to be accessible. I am never going to play at a high competitive level. I acknowledge that, but I want to have fun with the game. So have a mode like casual mode or online, non-ranked match mode where those shortcuts are enabled. But then have a mode where you actually have to do the motions. And then that's the competitive mode. That's the ranked matches. And when you go to a tournament, competitive mode is turned on, and now you actually have to have that level of challenge, right? Instead, they just said, fuck it, right? Fuck it. We'll just go ahead and make everything super piss easy, and everyone can just mash buttons and get super moves and combos. It got even worse with Street Fighter 4. It did. Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 not only was everything insane shortcut, to do, but then the game just became pattern play. It got so bad, okay, that you didn't even have to react to what people were doing. It was literally select your character on the select screen. Got it. Okay, fight. Okay, here comes the pattern. Just keep doing this pattern. Do this one move ad nauseum. It's usually pretty safe. And if it hits, do your giant combo. And if it doesn't hit, go back to doing the safe move, then do this move again. That was the whole game. It was two patterns playing on each other every time you saw a competitive match of the game. It sucked, okay? And that's ultimately, sadly, what happens when you dumb shit down to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with making a game more accessible as long as you don't ruin the game for everyone. If people want to challenge themselves or play it at a higher level of challenge, great, you should be able to. Should the accessibility features be in it, though? Yes. There's no reason why there shouldn't be accessibility in a game like Elden Ring or other games. and you choose to use it or you don't, or you turn it on or you turn it off, right? Just don't ruin the experience for either group. For those who want accessibility, have it. For those who don't want it, don't make it standard. See? But what's the real problem here? Effort. To implement these things properly, true accessibility, true adjustable, things in a game, it takes a lot of effort to put that in a game. And a lot of these game developers are not allowed to put the effort in. They're told by the publisher, they're told by the people in charge, get the fucking game out, make the money, bill, dollar bills, and that's it. That's the bottom line. Don't care about the quality of the game, don't care about what the game is, get the fucking game out, sell copies, period. But the game's not accessible. Fuck it, I don't care. Just sell it, right? That's the sad fact. I gotta blow my nose. Hold on a second. And by the way, it looks like the pilot hat has won. It did. All right. The pilot hat has won, and now we're gonna do Vestfall. Let's see. It's sunny again today, if you can believe it, outside, which means it's going to be hot in here again. So again, I hate to say it, Platinum Vest can't be eligible because I'll be sweating bullets. Let's do beige. We did red yesterday, so we'll do beige, gray, camo, and denim. Okay, and I got to blow my nose. Hold on. Ugh. Yeah. Well, that's disgusting. Look at this. I was blowing my nose and the dung eater came out of my nose. The dung eater came right. It's disgusting. Actually, one of the coolest things about Elden Ring is the intro. In the intro, the guy that they got the narrating, he's like, "Rise, ye tarnished! Get the fuck up off your lazy ass and go fuck up that dung eater!" I love that intro. He's so excited. Oh, I spelled denim with 2 M's? Oh, wow, that's extra special. Denim. Denim. Nice. Top Op Smoke Puffer says, I get your point on Get Good. Why did you call everyone pussies and say they needed to man up because you were asking you to come back to the Tree Sentinel, Dragon, and Crucible Knight later? Because they were pussies. That's why. Again, it's about moderation. It's about enjoying the game for what it is. If someone's playing the game and they're liking the challenge, let them be challenged. If they're playing a game and they want accessibility, let them have accessible features. If they're playing a game and they want, difficulty levels, and if the game developer feels that doesn't ruin the overall game experience they intended, then let it have difficulty levels. Let everyone just be themselves and play how they want and enjoy. Just like in life. I tell you guys, I don't care what race you are, what gender you are, be happy. Just be happy in life. As long as you're not negatively affecting everyone around you because of the way that you're behaving. Oh, Jasper, don't kick me and bite me. He's kicking and biting me. He's very upset. He's very upset. Stop kicking me and biting me. Anyway, in life, let everyone just be happy with what they want to be and who they are. Let them have their own identity, whether or not it's in line with your idea what identity should be. You know what I'm saying? Jasper, that's it. Now you're going to get it. Now you're going to get it. Now you're getting it. We're going to fight right now. You ready? We're going to beat each other up. Here we go. He wants to fight. The kitty wants to fight. I've had enough of you. Do you see him jumping up? Oh. How dare you? Oh, look at this. We're playing. It's so fun when he does that. You're a silly boy. You're a silly cat. No, he doesn't want. Now he's calming down. Now he doesn't want to fight anymore. But anyway, whatever floats your boat, have fun. Just don't ruin everyone else's life experience. Don't ruin everyone else's gaming experience. You know what I'm saying? Who are we to judge people for who they are, or what they want to do, or how they have fun, or how they go through life? Fuck that. Let everyone just have a good one. You know what I'm saying? Wow, he just turboed across the house. All right. Excuse me. Oh, pilot hat 1. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Oh, here it is. I was like, where's the pilot hat? I actually haven't worn it in many weeks. Seriously, this hat has not won the poll in many weeks. I don't know why, but it hasn't. So now we're going to be wearing it today. Hui. Actually, a nice hat for a hotter day, because the hat does not really heat up my head that much. HoboX says, I half agree. I think anything in the game is fair to use, but I think it's not the pure experience to steamroll things with Ash summons and OP spells. I think it's okay to use for casual. HoboX, again, you just said casual. There's no such thing as pro and casual. It's a single-player game. HoboX says, players, but the issue is people using those things without trying another method first. Then they want to call others that do enjoy that gameplay gatekeepers and ignore their accomplishment. No. It's that they don't care about the accomplishment, HoboX. I need to clarify here, okay? Here's the truth of the matter, all right? There will always be people who are trying to do amazing things in video games and in life in general. That's why we have a Guinness Book of World Records, right? Okay? Now, there will always be a group of people who care about that stuff, all right? But I'm here to tell you, and I mean this very sincerely, and I hope you'll listen. The vast majority of people on Earth don't care. The vast majority of people on Earth didn't read the Guinness Book of World Records and don't care about those world records. All we don't want to do is go through life. That's it. We want to go through life. We want to be safe. We want to be happy, have some fun along the way. You know, we don't care about being the best in everything. Not everyone has a hyper-competitive nature in life. Not everyone needs to know about the hyper-competitive people. Every day there's a new news story. Elden Ring has been beaten with another world record time. First it was 2 hours, 47 minutes. Then it was like 2 hours, 19 minutes. Then it was an hour and a half. As of last night, I think I saw someone that said someone beat it in 37 minutes. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, here's a big news flash. Nobody cares. No one should care. Okay, it's cool to know it happened, but why do I fucking care that you beat the game in 37 fucking minutes? Who cares about the size of your e-deck? Nobody should care about this, right? Big deal. There are a group of people who care. It's that get good community. It's that fucking competitive community. That's a fringe group, man. Now, the thing is, with a game like Elden Ring, this used to be the main community who cared about the game, right? The people who used to play the FromSoft games, it was only that community. This game went mainstream. It's time to accept that things have changed. It has. Things have changed. There are more casual people playing Elden Ring than hardcore get good people. And it's time for you to accept that times have changed, you know? And I know that'll be a hard thing, because the same thing happened to me with Street Fighter. At one point, Street Fighter was about competitiveness, it was about high-level gameplay, and then at one point, with Street Fighter 4, it became mainstream for everyone, game's easy mode, dumbed-down fucking trivial bullshit, you know? Get used to it or stop playing. Right? Same thing here with Elden Ring at this point. Will there be giant challenge to the game? Yes. Will there be people striving to beat the game in special ways? Yes. Will people care about it? Yes. The vast majority of people don't care. We just want to play the game and have a good time with it. We don't care about your bullshit and your achievements or anything. We really don't. I don't sit here reading the Guinness Book of World Records every... Oh, hold on. Man, that's some good seltzer. Now let me immediately look up the world record for the person who drank seltzer the fastest and the most. Okay. You know... I grew out my beard a little bit this week. Let me look up the world record for the world's longest beard. Let's look at it. No one cares. Nobody. That shit is an oddity. That shit is like on the fringe of the fringe of the fringe. Right? You go to the fucking Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in Hollywood, and you see the man who grew his fingernails out like this. Right? Wow, world record fingernail. Who cares? It's disgusting. Right? I don't care. Anyway. Third Nostril, you can watch whoever you want to play Elden Ring. I don't care. Watch me, watch someone else. Don't watch it all. Watch them all. Play it, don't play it. Shove it up your ass. I don't care what you do with it. But the point I'm making here is this whole gatekeeping is over. It's just over. You can't gatekeep this game. It's mainstream now. everyone's going to play it and use every means possible to beat it, you know? So just get used to it. Now, what it is now the Souls community is experiencing what many of us have already experienced in many other gaming communities. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been there, done that. I've seen Street Fighter get dumbed down and suck. So now you're seeing it get dumbed down and you think it sucks, you know? There you go. The difference was my game was meant to be competitive and got ruined competitively, while your game was never meant to be competitive and you can still play it how you want with challenge. I can't play Street Fighter 4 or 5 without the input shortcuts because they're in there for everyone. It's bullshit. It shouldn't be in there, but it is. That's correct. Speedrunning raises $4 million a year for charities because it's an oddity. That's why. If speedrunning was a commonplace thing, then everyone would do it. And it would be the main feature of a game. The fact that people can pull off these amazing feats and it raises money for charity actually just reinforces my point. It's a special thing outside of what should be expected to be the mainstream way to enjoy a game. That's why it raises money for charity, because it's a special thing. It's not supposed to be everyone has to play the game and speedrun it. Everyone has to challenge themselves. You actually hit the nail on the head and reinforced my point. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. Looks like Denim Vest will win today. Wow, it won by a ton. So Denim Vest today. Cool. All right, guys. Let us end the pre-stream. I'll get the Denim Vest. The sun has just come out full force, which is why I look pink, because the white adjustment just hit. And I'm excited. I am excited for Elden Ring. We're going to finish up. Oh, excuse me. That was really disgusting. We're going to finish up the Academy. Although I'm finding optional stuff to do in the Academy that I want to do. So we'll do a combination of stuff, I think. We'll try to finish it up, do the optional stuff there. And then after the Academy, there's a few areas in the lake still to investigate. And then maybe we'll go to that manor in the upper left-hand corner of the Liurnia map. Not Volcano Manor, the other one that we found and we never went up there. Probably that, right? Oh, excuse me. I was just clearing my throat of all those Get Good people. They were clogging up my throat. These assholes are gunking it up. Okay. All right, guys. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get started. There's gameplay on this stream? That's right. Elden Ring, baby. Let's do it.